Every year, millions of animals travel thousands of miles in search of food, breeding grounds, or better climate conditions. But not all migrations are created equal. Some species stand out for the sheer efficiency of their journeys, whether through distance, endurance, speed, or energy conservation. These animals have evolved to move with astonishing precision and resilience, making them the champions of migration. The Arctic tern is the undisputed king of long-distance migration. It travels up to 44,000 miles round-trip each year between its Arctic breeding grounds and Antarctic feeding zones. What makes the tern especially efficient isn't just the distance, it's how it manages the journey. By exploiting global wind patterns and feeding en route, it minimizes energy use while maximizing speed and range. Its small, aerodynamic body and sharp navigational instincts help it track the sun across hemispheres with almost uncanny accuracy. Next is the bar-tailed Godwit, a shorebird that holds the record for the longest non-stop flight of any bird. One tagged individual flew over 8,100 miles from Alaska to New Zealand without pausing to eat, drink, or rest. To prepare, Godwits double their body weight, converting fat into fuel at a rate few animals can match. Their highly efficient metabolism and streamlined bodies allow them to ride high-altitude wind currents for days, an evolutionary feat of precision and endurance. Among mammals, the grey whale makes one of the longest migrations, over 12,000 miles round-trip between feeding grounds in the Arctic and breeding lagoons off the coast of Mexico. These giants of the sea rely on stored fat to sustain them across vast stretches of ocean. They navigate with a mix of environmental cues, including the Earth's magnetic field, sound, and coastline landmarks. Despite their size and the energy demands involved, grey whales optimize their pace to conserve energy, sometimes traveling 100 miles a day. The monarch butterfly, though fragile in appearance, is one of the most efficient insect migrants. Its multi-generational journey from Canada to central Mexico spans up to 3,000 miles. No single butterfly makes the full round trip. Instead, the migration is a relay across generations. What's remarkable is their internal compass. Monarchs use the position of the sun and a time-compensated mechanism in their antennae to stay on course. Even with a brain the size of a pinhead, they consistently find the same Oyamel fir forests their ancestors visited. The leatherback sea turtle is another standout. It migrates up to 10,000 miles annually across open oceans to reach nesting beaches. Leatherbacks are built for distance. Their large size, strong front flippers, and ability to regulate body temperature let them swim in colder waters where food is more abundant. Unlike other sea turtles, they can dive over 4,000 feet deep, taking advantage of ocean currents and vertical migration of jellyfish to fuel their journey efficiently. The common swift is a small bird with big stamina. Once it leaves its European breeding grounds, it can stay airborne for up to 10 months without landing. During migration, swifts eat, sleep, and even mate mid-air. Their scythe-like wings and lightweight bodies make them master gliders. They ride thermal currents and minimize flapping to conserve energy, turning what could be a physically exhausting journey into a masterclass in aerodynamic endurance. Caribou or reindeer undertake the longest overland migration of any land mammal, covering over 3,000 miles annually. What sets them apart is their ability to move massive herds across tundra and boreal forests while managing the extreme energy demands of walking long distances on often unstable terrain. Their hooves adapt seasonally for grip or traction, and their social behavior, like traveling in large groups, helps reduce the risks of predation and allows for efficient foraging and movement. The European eel has one of the most mysterious and complex migrations. Born in the Sargasso Sea, they travel thousands of miles to European rivers where they mature over decades. When it's time to spawn, they return to the Sargasso, swimming upstream, across land if needed, and into the open ocean. Despite having no previous experience of the journey, they follow instinct and subtle environmental signals like salinity gradients and ocean currents. Their transformation, developing larger eyes, shrinking their stomachs, and increasing fat stores, makes them uniquely adapted for this once-in-a-lifetime trip. Humpback whales travel roughly 5,000 miles one way between cold feeding grounds and warm breeding areas. Despite their enormous size, humpbacks make the journey efficient by timing it with food availability and conserving energy through slow, steady swimming. Their migration routes are surprisingly direct, and recent studies suggest they may use magnetic fields and celestial cues to guide them. They also fast during migration, relying on fat reserves to make it through weeks or months without feeding. Finally, the sooty shearwater deserves a spot for sheer range and navigational prowess. These seabirds complete an 18,000-mile round-trip migration each year between New Zealand and the North Pacific. They follow a circular route that takes advantage of prevailing winds and ocean productivity. By using dynamic soaring, where they ride wind gradients above the waves, they conserve massive amounts of energy. Their timing is impeccable, aligning their presence with seasonal blooms of fish and squid, ensuring they're always feeding efficiently along the way. These 10 animals show us what's possible when nature optimizes for movement. Whether through flight, swimming, or long overland marches, each species has evolved tools and strategies to make its migration not just possible, but remarkably efficient. Their journeys are not only survival strategies, they're precision operations shaped by evolution, climate, and the push to adapt to an ever-changing world.